Hey boys and girls, and welcome to shorter attention what I was doing and things like that. Hopefully it helps you out, hopefully. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. So we've already covered a lot of the Honor 22 stuff this week, so I'm just going to glance over that. We're going to continue on with our discussion over Chapter 2, What Happened to Me. So the next part of this book is called The Way Out, and there's a two-parter for that. So the first part is going to cover the 3 basic memory types, and then the second part is going to talk about healing. So going into the memory types, the 3 basic memory types this book covers is procedural memory, semantic memory, and episodic memory. Now, procedural memory is any learned activities that we do automatically, like walking, bike riding, tying a shoe, or spelling the word cat. So this is all just basically muscle memory. Semantic memory involves remembering concepts, words, facts, data, and other bits of knowledge trivia, like quoting the Lord's Prayer or the Pledge of Allegiance. So this is the one that involves a little bit more thinking, like remembering formulas and things like that. Now the last one is episodic memory, and I highlighted that in blue because that's the important one here. We're talking about recovery or any sort of, what was the word I was looking for? But basically it involves recovery, and this is going to play into our PTSD discussion here because episodic memory is memory of an event that occurred in our lives, usually engaging the senses, including images, feelings, behaviors. So basically this is the one that if you're on vacation, someone says, hey, you remember that vacation in Hawaii, and you go, oh yeah, I remember the sunny breeze or something like that. That's episodic memory. So basically the book says that traumatic soul wounds are episodic memories, very negative ones, in dire need of processing and integration into our lives, values, beliefs, and senses of well-being. One very effective way to release this unprocessed emotions of the past, heal traumatic memories, and counteract some of the psychological consequences of your trauma is to experience a more powerful episode, which involves Jesus Christ entering your episodic memories of your traumatic experience. When this happens, images, senses, feelings, actions, and meanings of the past are confronted, re-experienced, processed, released, and overpowered by this new episode with Jesus. So this plays back into healing your moral injury. So basically the book says to heal your episodic memory, one of the things you can do is reconnect with God. And that is go to a church, go with friends, go with family, whatever, talk to a pastor, talk to a minister, just try to reconnect with God. The book says if you let him into your life, he'll be able to heal you from the inside out. Now, for those of you that aren't necessarily looking to heal any sort of moral injury, there are alternatives to that. There are 2 different things you can do. One of them is cognitive therapy, and the other one is prolonged exposure therapy. And if you are in the process of talking with someone at the VA or talking to a therapist or anything like that, why don't you ask them about that? Because prolonged exposure is very effective, and that basically is just where you relive the memory every day, and over a period of time, that memory doesn't become so bad to process. And then cognitive therapy just goes about working on your behaviors around that therapy, so that way you can change your reactions and reactions to the thing that happened. So finally, the book goes on to say that any sort of recovery you do, whether it's going to see a minister and trying to let Jesus back in your life, going to talk to a shura and talking whatever religious God you believe in and trying to let them back in your life, or going to cognitive therapy, prolonged therapy, group therapy, whatever the case may be, it'll all involve time, commitment, and patience. And then finally it says patience with God. So your recovery is not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to be a fun trip, and in fact it's actually going to be really unpleasant, but you have to go through the unpleasant times to get to the good. And so the more you stick with it, the better life gets. So that's the big thing there. It's just remember all this is going to take patience as you're recovering. So there is a question here in the book that I wanted to ask. Let me go ahead and erase all this real quick. And again, for you guys at home that are keeping track of this, this basically is just asking you to see what your life would be like before or after your recovery. So let me write this question down. Okay, so the question I want you to ask yourself, you're keeping track at home, is if there's one thing you would like to include in your personal definition of how your life will be when you're healed, what would it be? So think about it for a second. Think about how you envision your life after you fixed your problem. And then the reason I'm asking this, the reason the book's asking this, is because it gives you a nice goal to look forward to. So if it's I want to be a better dad, I want to be a better husband, that's a goal to reach. If it's I want to work better and be more productive in work, that's another goal to reach. Regardless of what your goal is, just write one down so you have something to strive for, something to work for as you're going through your recovery. So with that being said, we're going to continue down the 1970 path, and I'm going to knock out some more push-ups. Okay, so yeah, those are the basic 3 memory types there. And then here in a little bit, I'll talk a little bit about what the book says for healing, letting Christ in your life, things like that. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to come out with another video in a second. Y'all have a good one.